All right, guys, welcome Monday morning. I have an editorial for you out of Chicago today, another police officer shooting. But, it's been a busy week. I'm going to put 3 story links in the description box below. Give you 2 of them real quick here, the headlines. Modesto police officer who shot Seaver has been charged with manslaughter. And looks like he may go to court for that shooting. Remember, he shot the guy, and when the guy was yelling, ow, he shot him again. He's been charged with manslaughter.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! 05, shots fired. Show me your hands!
05, I copy, shots fired.
What's your corner? I'm behind the park. Show me your hands! Put your hands up! I'm behind the church, west side of the complex. Show me your hands! Put your hands up! 05, I'm facing southbound, west side of the park.
And also out of Miami, Florida, there is a curfew now until April 12th. Spring breakers were shut down. There was pepper balls shot by the police into the crowd.
Crowds and COVID are a bad combo, and that's what has South Florida leaders worried, as more people are expected to flock here in the coming weeks for spring break. On Miami Beach, another concern is crime. Shootings, beatings, and robberies going down in the heart of South Beach just in the last weeks.
Step back, step back, step back, step back, step back, step back.
So police are stepping up enforcement, and the city is targeting spring breakers online on travel booking websites.
That basically says, we're not kidding around. If you screw up, you're going to be arrested. So you need to follow the rules when you're in Miami Beach.
In Fort Lauderdale, this was the raucous scene from years past. The county mayor says that's exactly what he doesn't want this year.
Don't expect if that's going to be happening. Don't expect that you're going to be dancing in the bars until 4 a.m. elbow to elbow.
Mayors from municipalities all over Broward proposing a uniform plan to encourage businesses that sell alcohol to impose masking and social distancing rules. If there are widespread violations, a curfew could be imposed.
Hopefully we'll make the curfew unnecessary. But if we find that the bars and the restaurants are not enforcing this, then we will have to have a curfew.
But in Chicago, we're going to talk about a cop who did something and then told them, hey, this is what happened, guys. And then they found out by a security camera that's not what happened. You see, always record the police. You say, well, I got pulled over. They won't let me video record. Well, tell them I'm recording audio for my documentation, just so you know. If they say no, you're not recording audio, turn it off. That could be construed as a Tom Bain Act violation of your First Amendment right. Could be. So there you go. But you always have something going. Let the police know. If they won't let you video record, say, I have audio recording going for my documentation. You're being audio recorded as well as I. Just do it. And if they say no and they don't let you, you may have a civil rights violation, civil rights case. There you go. Get some dough. But you need to record them because this Chicago cop, I mean, it sounds like he just flat out lied. What? A cop lied? Get out of here. They're honest. Well, some are. Many aren't. Let's look at it. Thank you, CBS Local, for giving us this story. A Chicago police officer already stripped of his police powers has now been charged criminally after shooting 2 men while off duty back in December 2020. The incident was all caught on surveillance video, and on Wednesday, the officer, Kevin Bunge, was forced to turn himself in. The incident happened at 10:48 p.m. Friday, December 11th in the 3300 block of West Irving Park Road in Chicago. What played out along the busy road was not clear until surveillance video highlighted a completely different account of what the officer had told investigators. On Wednesday night, Bunge was suspended and stood charged with opening fire on 2 people parked in the street. Video shows a man identified as Bunge jumping out with a gun and firing at two people sitting in a red car. The car quickly reverses the wrong way down Irving Park Road, trying to avoid the multiple shots coming their way. Attorney Brad Thompson said my clients were unarmed and shot by this officer. Thompson said Bunge overreacted when a car parked behind him. Thompson said if you're an individual that views somebody parking on the same street that you're parked on as a deadly threat, that shows a problem with your judgment. The men eventually pulled into the parking lot of a nearby 7-Eleven and called 911. Video released by the Civilian Office of Police Accountability shows one man's hand bleeding from a bullet wound and glass, as well as a shattered driver's side window. When police responded, the off-duty police officer told investigators the men aimed guns at him first, but the only gun police found belonged to the officer, and video indicated the opposite chain of events to Bunge's story. In court, Bunge's attorneys changed the narrative slightly, claiming the officer feared the men were going to carjack him after two previous failed carjackings in recent prior weeks. Thompson said a reasonable response might be to drive away. To get out of the vehicle and approach the individuals that you supposedly are afraid of is not reasonable. Bunge is now charged with aggravated battery with a handgun and aggravated discharge of a handgun. Yet Thompson said what is more concerning for everyone is the duty that this officer holds. Thompson said the fact that this officer is an instructor for the use of force for the police academy reflects that there's a systemic problem in Chicago Police Department and how they train on the use of force. The two men, Jomer Orozco Carreto and Carlos Ramirez, have filed a lawsuit against the officer and the city of Chicago. The lawsuit was filed in February 2021. Now, it's going to go down. There's more to this story. It's kind of lengthy. I'm put a link to it in the description box below. But what happened apparently is these two men said they pulled over and they just parked on the curb behind another car because they were looking at GPS trying to find out where to go. Well, yeah, they were looking at their MapQuest and going, it says 3rd Street. I don't know, whatever. And this cop gets out, goes back with a gun and just shoots at him because he's a cop and he can do what the hell he wants. Sounds like he's got PTSD. Tell me what that stands for. I'm not talking about post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm talking about, what does that stand for? You make your own PTSD regarding this cop. I want you to do that in the comment section below. Not post-traumatic stress disorder, but he's got PTSD. What is it? Let me know. Now remember, this cop gets out. He lies to these guys. He lies to the investigators. Well, they pulled the gun on me. I feared for my life. That's what you say when you're a police officer. I feared for my life. Now remember, this guy's an instructor at the police academy. So that's what he teaches these guys. I feared for my life. That's what you tell them, guys. Okay, cadets? And you'll get away with anything. Yeah, unless there's surveillance camera that shows a whole different story. You didn't think about that, did you, instructor? That's why we're out there as cop watchers. So next time you guys get upset at us out there recording the police, just remember the name Kevin Bunge. That's right. That's why we're recording, because of cops like Kevin Bunge. And I want to remind all of you out there who are watching this video, when you see police interaction, and you have time and you can do it, just pull over, get out, and please record that interaction. Because your camera may be that surveillance camera that tells the truth. Let me know what you think. Community Leo Watch, watching Leos, that's law enforcement officers, to include liars out of Chicago and from coast to coast.